families have traditions, we've heard them 1,000 times. Our ancestors were unequivocally right. They frequently went on missions to very peculiar climes, to lead the wretched heathen to the light. Though some of them were beaten up and some of them stampeded, though quite a lot were eaten up, a few of them succeeded. On one of these expeditions, an uncle we thought a bore turned out to be more spirited than ever he'd been before. Poor Uncle Harry wanted to be a missionary, so he took a ship and sailed away. This visionary, hotly pursued by the Iran Mary, found a South Sea isle on which to stay. The natives greeted them kindly and invited them to dine on yams and clams and human hams and vintage coconut wine, the taste of which was filthy, but the after effects divine. Poor Uncle Harry got a bit gay and longed to tarry. This Aunt Mary couldn't quite allow. She lectured him severely on a number of church affairs, but when she'd gone to bed he made a getaway down the stairs, for he longed to hear the answer to a few of the maiden's prayers. Uncle Harry's not a missionary now. Now, Uncle was just a seeker, a dreamer sincerely blessed. Of this there couldn't be a shadow of doubt. The fact that his flesh was weaker than even Aunt Mary guessed took even her some time to figure out. In all those languid latitudes, the atmosphere's exotic. To take up moral attitudes would be too idiotic. Though nobody could be meeker than Uncle had been before, I'll bet today he's giving way at practically every pore. Poor Uncle Harry, having become a missionary, found the natives' morals rather cruel. He and Aunt Mary swiftly imposed an arbitrary ban upon them shopping in the mule. They all considered this silly and decided to rebel. They burnt his boots and several suits, which made a horrible smell. The subtle implication was that Uncle could go to hell. Poor Uncle Harry, after some words with dear Aunt Mary, thought the time had come to make a row. He lined up all the older girls in one of the local sheds, but while he was reviling them and tearing himself to shreds, they took their Mother Hubbards off and tied them around their heads. Uncle Harry's not a missionary now. Poor Uncle Harry, after some tears from dear Aunt Mary, called up in the chiefs for a powwow. They didn't brandish knives at him. They really were awfully sweet. They made concerted dives at him and offered him things to eat. But when they threw their wives at him, he had to admit defeat. Uncle Harry's not a missionary now. He's awfully happy, but he's certainly not a missionary now.